What is up, you beautiful bastards? It is Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You see my ugly face. That means only one thing. Jukebox Trivia is live. Dance off number 3. It's silly me. I did not mute the playback button, so I hear me an echo. God, that's awful. But yeah, we have a great debate once again. Jeff Varju versus Cody Newberry. Very heated competitors. One hates musicians, the other one is a musician. So we'll see how this goes. Let's introduce them right out of the gate. The guy who hates musicians, fellow Take 3 member, Cody Newberry. Cody, how do you feel going up against a musician?
Well, it's kind of rough because I'm debating about music of people I despise and hate and think they're terrible. No, I'm just kidding. They're garbage people. No, it's going to be fun.
Bitch, you say what?
Sorry, that's just if you haven't watched Collider Live, Josh Mercuga.
He calls everyone garbage people.
Yeah, so it's not an actual real thing. I actually am more jealous of people that can perform and sing and play instruments. I think it's a real talent that I definitely did not get the gift of. I did get the gift of debate, so I'm here to kick Jeff Varju's ass. Even though I really respect this guy, I think he's one of the nicest guys in this community. It's kind of like your friends, and you're gonna kick your friend's ass. Like it's kind of sad, but I'm gonna enjoy doing it. So sorry.
All right. And his opponent, you would have seen him compete in the hell as the 8th-ranked competitor in the Trivia League, but he's taking on a new form of debate. This Big Papa Jeff Varju. Jeff, how you doing today, and how do you feel going up against Cody, somebody who is a champion in Take 3?
Yeah, so that coveted large title belt of so many letters and numbers mixed up in there. Yeah, he knows his debating skills, but I'm really excited. I've never really done debating all that much, so this is a whole new format for me. But to Cody, he talked very highly of me, so I'm very grateful for that, and I do respect Cody a lot too. He's a very friendly guy, very nice guy as well. But I know my music. I'm here to show why I know my music, and I can debate why some of these choices are the best choices. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun. This is definitely going to be a gentleman's type match. So let's just have a good time tonight.
All right, so before we get right into it, I need to introduce the judges, as I'm not the only person here determining who has a better argument. So this person is what I consider the friendliest rival of the community. We've squared off many a time, but I think this is the first time now that we are in a judges panel together. That is the vicious trollop herself, Jessica Morgan. Jess, how we doing, and what do you feel about these two competitors duking it out?
Oh, this is going to be really interesting. I don't think Cody likes music whatsoever, and now he has to argue what's better.
All right, and our second judge today, he actually won Heads Up Volume 2, beating Paul Oyama in the final. That is the minor threat himself, Matthew Rosa. Matthew, as somebody who was the former Late Night with Take 3 mini speed round debate champion at the World Light Women Games Association of America, how do you feel judging this competition today?
Well, I was scammed out of my belt thanks to Take 3 nepotism, and that's what I'm standing by. Chris Clark beating me, huh? Chris Clark doesn't win at anything, and he sure as hell didn't win that debate, but it's fine. Anyway,
you're not wrong.
Jeff said that this match is going to be a gentleman's debate. Clearly, he has never seen Cody debate, because he's about to get put on blast, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, guys, so let's get right into it. These guys were given 4 questions on Friday evening. They had time to research and give us some answers, and they have prepared. So how it's going to work is the first person to 3 points wins. If there is a 2-2 tie after 4 questions, we will go into a speed round. It'll be a minute opening for each competitor, and then there'll be a 5-minute just general debate, and then a 45-second closing just to keep it concise. Jeff, since you scored more points in your opening match, which 2 questions would you like to go first?
Why don't we just keep it simple? Let's just go straight down the list. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So you're going to go first on the Best Wilburys and the Lion King?
I will go first actually on Wilburys and number 3.
Okay, so
the 90s question.
So Wilbury in the 90s? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. And Cody, which question would you like to start with?
Oh. I didn't know that was possible. I'm going to go with the Lion King first.
Okay, so we're going to go with the Lion. So what we'll do is we'll go Lion King, Nickelback, and then, Lion King, Wilbury, then Nickelback 90s, just so we alternate who goes first and second.
That's fine.
So, 2, 3, 4. All right, perfect. So the first question, we did a similar question on the last debate of Black Panther, and I know one of our panelists is a huge fan of Lion King, and the other one is a big fan of soundtracks and just music in general. So I figured this would be an interesting topic. So the first question of the panel is, who should do the score and soundtrack for the new Lion King's movie set to come out next year? So Cody, you will be going first. You got a minute. Fire away.
This is my favorite movie of all time. Nothing else stands even close to it. It has it's a movie that came out when I was born. It stayed with me ever since, and that's why my choices are the originals. I'm saying Elton John, Tim Rice, and Hans Zimmer. I think the main thing about live-action movies is, one, I think they're pointless, and I think they're completely a cash grab for Disney. But I'm saying if you're going to bring one of the most iconic animated films of all time onto the big screen, you need the original people to do it. The music is literally what makes this movie. If not, it's just National Geographic where the lions take on the hyenas, and guess what? I don't want to watch that. So my choice clearly is that. I don't really want to break down Jeff's because I'll let Jeff explain it, and then I'll tackle him in the ring. But yes, mine is Hans Zimmer, Tim Rice, and Elton John to bring back the original crew to do Lion King all over again.
All right. Well, Cody going with the if it ain't broke, don't fix it method. Jeff, your opening statements.
Well, with these whole Disney live-action remakes, I mean, they're certainly a debate in and of itself. But if you're looking at it right now, just for what it is, you want something new and refreshing. You want something that's gonna separate itself from what it was originally. So, and you got to look at what's currently working right now. And the things that are currently working is one of the hottest songwriters right now and one of the hottest composers right now. So my choices for this, I think he's already cast in the movie, and that is for the songwriting is going to be Lin-Manuel Miranda, and for the score, Alan Silvestri. I mean, these are two guys who are really on their A game right now. I mean, Lin-Manuel Miranda, like, he's just a natural songwriter right now. He's already have a history with Disney, and Alan Silvestri, I mean, it's like he's shown how diverse he can be with his orchestral scores and just and mixing so many influences into it. So I think in terms of separating itself from the original, this is a good choice to go with. So Lin-Manuel Miranda and Alan Silvestri.
All right, perfect. Right on the money. All right, guys, 5 minutes free-form debate. I do ask no filibustering and no touching of the hair or face. Go away.
Okay, I completely disagree with you. If you think that something refreshing and new, well, guess what? Don't call it the Lion King. You're bringing the Lion King. You're doing a shot-for-shot remake with live action is basically what you're doing. And I respect your choices, but I completely disagree wholeheartedly. I do not want to see Simba stand on there telling Pride Rock that he's not throwing away his shot from Hamilton, mixing with Alan Silvestri. These two are like the two most polar opposite composer-songwriters ever. We're going to get the Back to the Future, the guy that scored Back to the Future and Moana mixed. I'm out. You're not doing the Lion King. You're doing this completely ass-backwards movie that I will literally, if the rap started happening, I would stand up and walk out.
But at the same time, I mean, Elton John already did it. He did a fantastic job with the animated version, but that's the thing. That was the past. I would say we're looking forward right now to what is working right now. They're looking right now to trying to separate itself. If you have Elton John do it again, it's just going to be the same retread. It's going to be the same exact songs for the most part. I'll say not down Elton John in any way, shape, or form, but if you want something new and to separate itself from the animated film, this is what you need to go. And Lin-Manuel Miranda, he already did Moana. I'll say he shows that he can write songs. He shows that he is just a capable songwriter. I'll say it doesn't matter.
Who wants something new from the Lion King? That's the problem with this entire conversation. No one is clamoring for a live action make of this movie. I'm sorry, Elton John. Of all the animated movies out there, the Lion King is sold by its songs. Nothing else is in that movie, basically, but those songs. They tie everything together. The main trailer of the thing was written by Elton John, and it's The Circle of Life. I don't want new songs. I don't want to go in there and see the new Lion King, because guess what? When they tried to do the new Lion King, we got Lion King 2 and Lion King 1.5, and those are dog shit. I'm telling you right now, if you're going to do the Lion King, you want the same songs, because the only way you're going to pack the theater is if you put out a trailer with all the animals rising up, and you hear The Circle of Life, and you hear Hans Zimmer's score, which is one of the most underrated scores by any composer in an animated movie, because his is fantastic. Lin and Silvestri don't mix together. That's the main problem I'm having with this. I see upbeat, I see that he could maybe add a couple songs, but like, look at Beauty and the Beast, look at Jungle Book. They all kept the same songs. They may have done them a little different, but you have those same songs, because that's the Disney magic. That's what people drive to the theaters. That's what you watch these movies. That's why you watch them with your kids. They have that effect. You don't want new music with the same characters. That's like, it doesn't mix.
But at the same time, you keep arguing, yeah, they don't mix. When was that ever a bad thing? There's been countless times where things just don't mix on paper. Put them together in a room, put natural musicians together in a room, they'll make some magic happen. They'll make some great things happen. And you keep going back to the original songs. You want to hear the original songs. They've gone on record saying they're not going to include many of the original songs. They've only included maybe like 2, 3, or 4, something like that. They're only including a couple of them. This is an opportunity now to kind of expand on that, to tell something maybe a little different and give it a little bit of breath for a newer audience. You can have the old songs, you can have flavors of the old songs in there, but at the same time, it's all about separation. The whole goal of these new films is they're trying to separate from their animated counterpart. I mean,
that's completely false. They didn't separate from Beauty and the Beast. They didn't separate from Jungle Book. They're keeping on the same path. All they're wanting is you to come to the theater, you to pay your money, and you watch it. But if I'm going to watch one of the most iconic Disney movies of all time, you have to have the songs. And you said 2, 3, 4 songs. Guess how many songs are in The Lion King? Not too many. You literally, they cut Be Prepared, which I completely disagree with. And they brought James Earl Jones back, but they did already Mufasa. So they're already bringing back a voice that was originally in the movie. And now they can't bring back the original songs. They're bringing back Circle of Life. They're bringing I Just Can't Wait to Be King. They're bringing Can You Feel the Love Tonight, which are 3 of the most iconic songs of the show. So you have to have Tim Rice and Elton John. I don't
45
want
seconds
Lin
left.
or any rap or any upbeat thing that mix with the iconic. Go ahead.
That's the thing. You keep associating Lin-Manuel Miranda with his Hamilton stuff. He has proven that he can completely go outside of that box. He's not going to do a rap in the middle of fucking Lion King. He's not going to.
He put it in Moana. He put the same Hamilton rap in Moana. Like, it was literally.
But that was how long ago? They're looking at something new right now. Just because it happened already in a past movie doesn't mean it's going to happen again. You seem to just cling to the past. Start looking a little bit more to the future a little bit.
2 projects that are made.
He's also doing Mary Poppins. He's doing Mary Poppins right now.
Guess what? Go Fly a Kite. It's going to have some sort of hip hop thing. I'm just telling you.
Time. Wow. Great question to open off here. We are now going to go into the closing segments here. 45 seconds ish. Just kind of keep it concise. Cody, since you went first in the opening, you'll go first in the closing.
All right. Listen, Lion King is made by its song and by its score. The characters are great. It draws you in. But literally, to Mufasa's death, to when Simba is chased out of the Pride Land, when he returns, that score mixed with the music is literally why everybody still holds the Lion King in such high regard. If you add anything new to it that's not the Lion King, call it something else. Call it The Lion Goes to a Top of a Mountain. I don't care, but don't call it The Lion King, because that's not what The Lion King is. I don't want to see Lin touch this, because let's be honest, he's a little oversaturated. Lion King needs to stay original, needs to stay true.
Cool. Pat and Chris Clark ended a few seconds early. Jeff.
I'll say again, I'm not downing Elton John's ability to write songs. He did a fantastic job back in what, the 90s. That was when Lion King originally came out. They're now looking to do with these animated films to give them to a newer audience, to have them connect with something. They're trying to at least do something different. With Lin-Manuel Miranda and with Alan Silvestri, they're going to inject something new into it that can work. It's not necessarily saying that it won't work or it's going to be trash automatically, but they're trying to do something new to separate themselves from an animated thing. If they have Elton John come back, it's going to be the exact same thing we've seen before. At that rate, just watch the animated film again. That's the only problem. See, they want to look at these new live actions as something to separate off themselves. You need to get a new life into it. You need what currently works. And yeah.
All right. Interesting closing arguments there. I'm gonna vote first, and then I'll go to the other judges here. What I liked about Cody's is that he like there's a lot of reference back to the old film, and he attacked Lin-Manuel Miranda and Alan Silvestri great, and how it's just going to be they're just going to incorporate their style, which is what they don't want, like which is not fitting for Lion King. Like he's just going to add in a rap song. Jeff countered that a little bit with how it's just how like it's if you're going to go with those same songs, just go watch the movie. I'm going to give the point, though, to Cody because I didn't quite hear why Alan Silvestri, not somebody different, why Alan Silvestri was the right fit for the score. I was looking for like musical patterns and like what tones he could bring to the film. So based on that, I'm giving my point to Cody. Mr. Rosa, I'm going to go to you next. Based on the arguments, who do you give the point to?
So going into this, I was like really torn because of the arguments were like really solid up until about 3.5 minutes in. And then there was an amazing point made where, Jeff tried to argue that Lin-Manuel Miranda would not add a rap song. And then Cody responded with, well, he did it to Moana. And from then on, it was kind of just a runaway train because Jeff kind of never patched up that hole in the armor. And so, yeah, Cody gets the point for this one.
All right, so Cody gets the point on that question. Jeff, your vote did not count, but how would you have swayed?
Sorry, while they were arguing, I was trying to pull the Dan and run the fact check at the same time. And Jeff kept bringing up that Disney wanted to keep doing something different with these movies and do something different with the score. Literally, the only thing that they did different with Beauty and the Beast was add 1 or 2 songs from the Broadway musical version. That's literally all they did, which were also written by Alan Menken. So yeah, my vote probably would have also gone to Cody.
All right. Okay.
That's all I wanted to win. I'm okay with losing everything else now.
Yeah. All right.
Cody won the Lion King argument. What a shocker.
Cody strikes early, getting a point there at the Lion King. So now we are going to move right into question number 2. And I do keep in mind the cool kids in the chat. If you have an answer you think that's better than theirs, throw it in. Kind of spark some conversation. We are now going to move into question number 2. I'm not sure why I wrote this question, but I am a fan of the band, and just considering it on paper, these 5 powerhouses came together. So the second question is, who is the best member of the 90s supergroup, the Traveling Wilburys? Jeff, you were going to go first in this argument. You got a minute. Fire away.
I mean, the Traveling Wilburys, they're the definition of a supergroup. I mean, you have some of the most influential artists coming together to create some of the most amazing music you could listen to. I mean, both albums they produce are so amazingly done, and the musicality on them is great. To pick one out of them is tough in and of itself, but to me, there was always one that resonated the most. I was like, just growing up with it, the voice alone. The voice is what sells you, and the voice is what drives it home. I'm talking about Lefty Wilbury himself, ladies and gentlemen, Roy Orbison. Roy Orbison is one of the most iconic voices known to mankind. He is just he broke the mold when he first came onto the scene. The fact that he just didn't care what other people thought, it kind of made him like the original punk rocker in a way, just in the sense of attitude. And that worked so well for him. And transitioning that into the Wilburys, it just showed that he's such an amazing musician.
All right. Good opening there by Jeff. Cody, your opening statements.
Well, it's not a shocker, guys. Music is not my forte. So I just grew up with kind of music that my dad listened to. And my choice is Tom Petty. Tom Petty changed music in my eyes. He is literally has until we lost him. He has such a long career that is over so many decades with so many different songs that are all fantastic to me. I think that he is probably maybe to some may not be the most talented out of that group, but his music resonates with today's even more. I think some of the songs that he has, and I just don't think Jeff's choice stands today. So I'll save this for the debate.
All right, cool. All right, 5 minutes, guys. Freeform, Duke it out. Let's go.
Roy Orbison doesn't stand the test of time. Do you even just like listen to what you said right there, right now? I mean, his voice. I was like, when was the last time you heard anybody try to even come close to replicating that voice? When was the last time you heard anybody try and hit the notes he hits on Crying or Pretty Woman or anything like that? His voice. I was like, his voice alone is just nobody can come close to that. He is just. He's on a whole another level.
That's my thing. I don't care about the voice. Yes, he's got a great ability, but when you listen to music, you hear all different voices from all different people that are fantastic, that stand the test of time. But I'm telling you, with a discography like Tom Petty has a way longer, unfortunately for Roy, his life to be cut short. But even if Free Fallin', Won't Back Down, American Girl, I can just list his songs over and over, and they stand. People use them in movies. I still, every time I hear Free Fallin', go right back to the memory when I first saw Jerry Maguire. And his music is just so iconic. It has such a great, just where he's been able to improve himself throughout the generations and change up his act and make it successful and make it still well known to everybody walking. Tom Petty is one of the greatest artists of all time. I just don't think that he has as many great songs to go back to for Roy to go back to even compete with Tom on this. I love Crying and I love Pretty Woman, but they're just not Tom.
But at the same time, I mean, like, yeah, there's no doubting Tom Petty has a impressive discography. I'll say I'm a fan of Tom Petty. I mean, it's hard enough talking against him, but when you look in the essence of just the musicality, Tom Petty's lyricism, it all kind of revolves around the same Americana type of vibe here. Roy Orbison always wanted to try and differentiate himself. He always looked to push himself even further from that, and that's what made him so iconic and so timeless. Even the fact that he stood out from everybody else, he was so far out of the norm that it just made him so iconic with people.
But I completely
I'm gonna pause the clock here right quick. We're at the halfway point here, but one thing I do want to hear is why your member what the contributions to the Traveling Wilburys itself, why they surpass the other.
Okay,
I want to hear that in the argument in the next half hour, the next half / closing segment.
Got it. Okay, but so going back to the Wilburys, I mean, it's like, yeah, you have Jeff Lynne, you have Bob Dylan, you have Tom Petty. Even I'll say, try and pick out those individuals from a track. It kind of runs into a little bit of a gray area, saying like, okay, is this so and this is so and so. You know, from the minute when Roy opens his mouth, that vibrato, the falsettos, even the low growls, you know it's Roy Orbison.
I think 100% you can pick out Tom Petty's voice in those songs. I think he had so much to all the songs that he was contributing on. But back to your one, I wanted to counteract your back point before I was cut off. The main thing is, you're saying that Roy changed over the course of time. Tom Petty changed every decade. He had to change, and that's why I think he was such a crucial member of the Traveling Wilburys, because he just had a unique voice with able to pick out. It may not have been as unique as Roy, but I don't believe that's what makes you the best of the Traveling Wilburys. I just think Tom had enough to add to those songs to make him a household name.
I was gonna say, yeah, the household name, I would say Petty would have it over Orbison, but I say looking more so at the musicianship from him, I say nobody can get the vibratos like Roy can. Nobody can get the falsettos like Roy can. He adds the classicalness, like, in a way to it. He adds his a classical nature that not many other musicians would ever introduce. He introduced it into the music of the Wilburys and his own music that helped transcend him into a different point.
So pretty much in the Traveling Wilburys, he just pretty much accompanied everybody. He didn't take really a full drive. That's my whole thing. You're saying that he hits every different thing, that he stands out, but Tom Petty literally leads. He's literally a lead singer. There
really wasn't a lead singer in that band, though.
But I'm saying that he has the power to be able to be shown through those songs. That's why I'm saying you can still pick him up. You're saying that he can hit the low, he can hit the high, but I'm saying that's great.
Also, in terms of versatility, I see Roy has it over Petty easily. Tom can easily get kind of that easy mid-range down. Roy can cover both ends of the spectrum, and that's just versatility right there, and that's what works.
All right, perfect. That was actually that's a great little quarrel there, both competitors. We now go into the closing segments, and Jeff, you're going to go first.
I'll say again, there's no denying that Tom Petty isn't a fantastic artist and a fantastic musician. I was like, he's one of my personal favorites. But in terms of musicality-wise, Roy Orbison is just one of the best of our time. I'll say, if he were still around today, he would still be rocking the black rim glasses, the slick black hair, and rocking the bolo tie, representing Texas right there. I'll say, because he just didn't care what people thought of his style. He was he was in a way above our generation. He was ahead of our time because of that iconic voice, because of the way he contributes to everything. The Traveling Wilburys was one of his best projects. I wish he would have continued on more with it to show even more of the versatility that he had as a musician.
All right. Good closing there. Cody, you are next.
I think Tom Petty is the best Traveling Wilbury because he literally has a career that stands the test of time. He has an iconic voice. He has such a long discography. He even changed music with his classic battles with his label and having to make his music more accessible. Tom Petty was just all around. He just has the most iconic songs out there. I just don't believe Roy has as much discography to hold up against Tom Petty. That's why I think it's a tough choice for you to battle it. I believe Tom Petty is the best. I'll just leave it there.
Sorry. All right. And ending it early. All right. That was a great argument there for sure. Jess, since your vote did not count in the last one, I'll let you go first. Who gave the better argument?
Okay. Well, first off, I do have to say, Cody, yes, you are correct in that Tom Petty does have more lead parts on Traveling Wilburys albums, but that's kind of because while they were doing press and tours and stuff for Volume 1, Roy Orbison kind of died, so he was never involved.
I wasn't going to bring up that, but Brooklyn wanted the question debated, so I threw that in there. Sorry. I wasn't going to bash that he died early. I'm sorry. That's just not right. But
although the one album that they do both appear together, they do have 50-50. Each has the same amount of solos.
All right. So who gave the better argument?
I think all around the one that gave the most compelling argument to their singers' talents and what they could contribute to it. I'm probably gonna go with Jeff.
Okay. All right. Matthew, in your eyes, who gave the better evidence?
That was a slugfest for sure. There was a lot of like reasonable ideas brought up on both sides. Cody made a lot of arguments based though, like on the emotion that Tom Petty invokes in a person, and Jeff was going strictly from like, here is what Roy Orbison was and who he was and what he meant to music, and so I'm gonna give it to Jeff, even though I like Tom Petty way more.
All right, so Jeff gets the point there. I also would have went Jeff because, like, for me, it was Jeff Farry's. If it was Roy's musicality versus Tom Petty's discography, and while I do agree that Tom Petty has a better discography, I heard more from Jeff as to what his contributions to Traveling Wilburys was, where it was more so kind of like I didn't hear enough. I didn't hear enough from
just
Tom
saying,
Petty.
If you want that mention, put it in the question. I'm just saying.
Well, I know.
That's
why I added it halfway.
I'm like, okay, so you didn't say that before, but that's fine.
Let me just say, it was impossible to argue against Tom Petty. It hurt me to do that.
Actually, what would have given Jeff like the slam dunk is that Tom Petty wasn't even supposed to be in the Traveling Wilburys. He joined super last minute. I think it was only because he was at George Harrison's house whenever Bob Dylan came over to ask him. So yeah,
it doesn't matter when you're invited as long as you're at the party.
I was gonna say, then you could argue Ringo is the worst Beatle because he joined last. Oh wait,
I mean, you're not wrong there. All right, so we are tied 1-1, and that question is, what is the worst Nickelback song? These guys are both Nickelback fans, very, very guilty pleasure-ish, but not on the level of Caleb Coho. I mean, Caleb Coho would probably defend every Nickelback song that there is.
It's not a guilty pleasure for Coho. For Coho, it is an unabashed, proud pleasure.
Pause. If you ever give me that slander bullshit one more time on this thing, I will literally...
It's one of your strengths, Cody. You scored twice in Nickelback.
Right. I got one question right.
Hashtag 4-point gate.
Hashtag 4-point gate. Should have been in the heads up.
All right, so the question is, guys, what is the worst Nickelback song? Cody, you're going to be going first. You got a minute. Fire away.
Oh, my gosh. Worst Nickelback song. That's like picking... gosh, there's so many to choose from, but there was an easy, clear-cut choice that even made a famous band sell out for, and that's Rockstar. I'm going to use it pretty much the lyrics in the debate round, but this song is complete dog shit. It's scary how bad this one is. Plus, this came out when people kind of thought Nickelback was okay. Like, it wasn't, they didn't figure out yet, like, holy crap, this is dog shit that I'm listening to. Jeff's pick is from way past the point, and you should have jumped off the bandwagon way before this moment. And I'm going to end it there.
All right, and then it's 15 seconds early there. That is a personal best. Jeff, your opening statement. You got a minute. Fire away.
I mean, yeah, Nickelback, it seems to be like the internet joke to hate on Nickelback. Hot take, I don't hate them. I think they're okay. They're not groundbreakers. They're not groundbreakers by any means, but they have produced some good songs. But the one song to me that sticks out as one of the worst songs they have ever done, it's the fact that they tried to do something new and they tried to infuse a different genre into this song, and the lyrics alone will just make you just face palm your entire hand through your skull. It's a song called She Keeps Me Up. It's one of the newer songs, but my God, this is bad. This is a really bad one, people. We'll just wait till the debate round. Let me read these lyrics to you.
Fuck. Damn it.
What?
Jess, my laptop just got hacked. The question reads different on my screen. Can you help me out here? Like, I'm not sure what the question is here.
F off.
Yeah, I think I got it. So we're keeping their answers?
Oh yeah, we're keeping their answers.
Okay.
This is now the new. Yeah.
Do you want me to read it?
I mean, no. Well, there's a note on mine. Dear Mr. Vale, we have hacked into your system. We are taking over Dance Off. Comply with our thing, or you will be punished. So the new question, and I do apologize, guys. I don't have a firewall set up on my computer, so the question is now, what song should Miley Cyrus cover next? Got 5 minutes. Go.
I am incredibly confused right now.
So, okay, apparently Jack will, no, sorry, that was wrong. Jukebox of the day and pick Miley Cyrus. I'm sorry. So great. I think they should cover Rockstar by Nickelback. They at least get ZZ Top on stage, and she's pretty much did most of the stuff in the song, so I'm actually okay with it. So she can, where everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial, hey, I want to be a rock star. So just add some twerking in that, and I think this would be a great song. The other one, Keep Her Up, that's going to be incredibly weird and off-putting, and it's got a weird musical arrangement in that song. It doesn't fit Miley. She can't even twerk to it properly, so I don't think that's going to be a great idea for her.
Well, there's a first time for everybody, Cody. I mean, this is a song that introduced funk first. I'll say Nickelback originated with funk. They initially, a Nickelback doing funk, everybody. So now imagine Miley Cyrus now doing funk. I'll say, and I say, just wait until she sings this chorus. I have the lyrics up on the screen, so here we go. Ready? Chorus. Funky little monkey, she's a twisted trickster. Everybody wants to be the sister's mister. Coca-Cola roller coaster. Love her even though I'm not supposed to.
Well, listen,
can you imagine Miley Cyrus singing this?
I'm sorry, Miley. Nickelback did not create funk, so I really don't. I want that scratched from the record. But she can talk about a big black jet with a bedroom in it. ZZ Top can say, "I'll take the quesadilla." Like, it's literally, I can already see a parody. I think it's going to be fantastic with ZZ Top next to Miley Cyrus while she twerks singing Rockstar. Literally, it tells you how to be the best rock star in the world. So you just sign a couple autographs so you can get your meals for free. Like, this is just how you do it. And I think Miley is the perfect person to take over Rockstar.
But dissecting the cover of Miley Cyrus's song Rockstar, originally from Nickelback, you essentially just have a song that's just a generic ass sing-along. I'll say, you keep looking at the song like from a lyrical standpoint. This is the epitome of a bare bones by the numbers just sing along. It is just boring. There's nothing that takes it above, it takes it down below. It's boring. I was saying Miley Cyrus had nothing to it. Nickelback didn't really add anything to it. So at the same time, it just doesn't work.
I disagree, because this line right here is perfect for her. It literally says, "I'm going to trade this life for fortune and fame. I will even cut my hair and change my name." Like,
that was Britney Spears, though.
It doesn't
Britney
matter.
Spears did that. That's not Miley Cyrus.
I think it's a great move for her. She can teach everybody the cutting edge to be the new rock stars in this world. It tells about popping pills. I mean, it doesn't give the best message to kids, but hey, Miley taught everybody to twerk. So I think it's a great move. Yours is just creepy and weird, and apparently
that alone is why it's the worst. The creepiness of it. I was like, the opening fucking art. It's like lyrics to it. She's got me nervous, talking 100 miles an hour. She's more than worth it. I swear, she smells just like a flower. I was like, that.
All they know is Miley wants to be a rock star. That's the main thing. She wants to be a rock star. She wants to tell everybody. Yours just wants to be with this random girl about keeping her up and keeping you up. It's awkward. It's weird. It's a back step for her.
But
back to Hannah Montana days, we need to talk about Rockstar and how to like be famous and make a lot of money and do drugs and get keys to the Playboy Mansion. Like that's what we need.
Why would she want keys to the Playboy Mansion? Why? What would she need?
Likes to party.
Because she likes to party. But what's the point of her getting the keys to the Playboy Mansion?
1 minute left.
I was like, look at the songs in general. Look at the worst Nickelback song being "She Keeps Me Up." I was like, Miley Cyrus taking that and covering it.
But can we be real? I think your main problem is this song only came out in 2014. That's a little bit early to do a remake of a song. I think 2005 is it's enough time has passed. She can make a new swing on it. She can make it her own thing. I think that would be the most. And bring ZZ Top back.
They did it with Spider-Man, though. I was like, if they can do it in movies, they can do it in music. I was like, who's to say they can't do it?
Everybody. Because
I was like, but just because you can't, it doesn't mean they're not going to do it.
Just called her godchild, and told her never to do that song, but do Rockstar. I'm telling you, this is the perfect thing. She is a rock star. She needs to show everybody how to become a rock star. By like dealing with private jets and pill popping and like bleach blonde hair, drug dealers on speed dial. I'm just saying.
Doesn't work.
All right. I gotta admit that hacker getting up to some dastardly deeds, but it did give me a chuckle.
He even hacked my speech. It's crazy.
It's absurd. All right, guys, let's get into the closing arguments. I mean, I'd rather see what is the worst Nickelback song, but this whoever you are, I'm gonna find you. And I'm gonna kick your ass. What is the song that Miley Cyrus should cover next? Closing arguments, guys. Cody, you're gonna go first.
Listen, Miley Cyrus started as a kid on Disney Channel singing about the best of both worlds, but now she gets to live the world of a rock star. And the best thing to do is sing about how to become a rock star. You can almost make ads about how to become a rock star. The other one is a tabloid mess. It's a terrible song. It just came out too soon, so it doesn't make sense to redo a song that has already been in the shit fire. This one probably like peaked at like number 20,000 on the Billboard chart, so I think it at least has a shot to make it, and she can even change up some of the lyrics to make it fit her. I just think it's a great career move. It's what people would be proud of her.
All right, Jeff, your closing arguments.
I mean, when you take the worst Nickelback song being "She Keeps Me Up" and having Miley Cyrus now take her spin on it, she can do the exact same thing Cody just said. She can change it up to make it be that he keeps me up instead. I was like, she can talk about how his Johnson smells like flowers and how, he's a little funky monkey and riding the Coca-Cola roller coaster. I mean, when you look at Rockstar, it's just a bare bones by the number thing. And that's exactly what Miley Cyrus is going to do with it. When you have something that transcends a genre for a shitty band like Nickelback in some way, and Miley Cyrus takes it and tries to make it a little bit different, it can work really well. But you know what? When you still look at the lyrics, shit is still shit. But Miley Cyrus, if there's anyone who could take shit and make it into gold, she probably could be the one to do it. So She Keeps Me Up is the obvious choice.
Time. Wow.
He can be a little funky monkey that rides the Coca-Cola roller coaster. That is a quote from a father. This man is a father.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been
you don't see a kid here,
since my last in pure
Brooklyn's
thought.
an a-hole. Brooklyn's an a-hole.
And blame the hacker,
no,
man.
that hacker is an a-hole.
This hacker is awful, and they will be defeated. I'm trying to have a clean, fun debate here, and this hacker is changing up questions here last minute to throw off our competitors. I am ashamed, and I apologize deeply for the shenanigans that this hacker has caused. I'm going to go first because I voted out in the last round. It was back and forth. I wasn't too sure on who to go with. I was starting out with Cody, and then Jeff had a really good point. And then Cody, and then Jeff. The point that I am going, the point I'm going to give the point to Cody for these reasons is because he convinced me more of that the lyrics can apply to Miley more, and I'm kind of torn on this argument, but it makes sense in the long run. Whereas Rockstar is from 2005 and the other one's from 2014, I feel like that Rockstar has aged enough where it's can almost be like a meme. So I'm giving the point to Cody. Jess, who gave the better argument?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I had to look up the lyrics for "She Keeps Me Up" because I had literally never heard of this song once in my life.
It's terrible.
But I think the one guy who kind of made it sound more like this is a song that Miley could actually do and, you know, not suck at it is probably Cody, because that woman is a walking meme and that song itself is a meme. It's like the second greatest Nickelback meme next to Photograph.
Look at this girl!
All right. So, Cody gets the point there. Matt, your vote did not count, unfortunately, but how would you have swayed?
I actually would have given it to Jeff, purely based on the fact that Cody kept on saying, this song wouldn't work for Miley because she wouldn't sing about a girl keeping her up when she is openly bisexual. So that argument makes zero sense.
That's not my point. That wasn't my point. I said that's a tabloid mess, like who she's with and blah, blah, blah. Who's it about? Taylor Swift has that
Yeah, but I don't know, man. That felt like a crack in the armor because you really kept hammering that point home. You were like, that wouldn't work. It makes no sense. The chemicals in the water are turning the frogs gay. There can't be a gay woman.
Listen here, InfoWars.
Once again, guys, I do apologize for the for the mix-up there in the questions. The hacker is going to be punished for their actions.
But Cody, Brooklyn be punished. So
but Cody does take a 2-point lead. It does take a 1-point lead going into the final regular question. Cody, if you get this point, you win the game. Jeff, if you get this, we go into a speed round question. So we now move into the final question, and the one that I'm actually most excited for. These guys both grew up in the 90s. They're both 90s fans. So the question is, guys, what is the best year of music from the decade of the 90s? Jeff, you are going to be going first.
All right. I mean, my namesake, Big Papa, So the 90s is a big deal for me. I would say the 90s is probably the greatest decade for pop culture, not just for movies, but music. Music, it was such an explosive year in the 90s. To pinpoint one year was pretty tough in and of itself because there's hits spanning the entire way. But there's one year to me that really sticks out. And the word that comes to mind is variety. Variety. And that is 1997. This had variety from so many different genres. I mean, you had country back in the mainstream. You had rap. You had alternative. You had rock. You had pop. Everything was represented really well here. And it just stands alone. I mean, even if you look at nostalgia base versus actual true artistic merit, there's something to be had for everybody here. And 97 is clearly the best decade, 90s is the best decade. The 97 is the best year of the 90s for music.
Pat Chris Clark ending 4 seconds early. We'll see if that works. Cody, your opening statement. You got a minute. Fire away.
Oh, I love when people use the term variety because variety is a pile of shit from 97, okay? And I will get into that in the debate round. 95 is my choice because I'm not going to go off the variety. I'm going to go off of the good songs and good music from 95 that actually happened. I think 97 is when it took a turn for the worse, and some of the music that we get today is probably inspired by some of it. And I will 95 has like real heart and real soul songs and real emotion through their songs. I think 97 was reimburse like where they were all confused and they were like, I like the sound of this. Let me put it out there and see what it gets. Like, I can't stand. I've listened to some of these and they're terrible. I'll save it for the debate.
All right. 5 minutes, guys. Let's fire away.
You're going to tell me You're going to tell me variety is a bad thing. You're looking at artistic merit. Do you know what was released in 97 that stands the test of time? I have a list ready for you. You ready for this shit? All right. Notorious B.I.G. right there in and of itself. Life After Death. Look at songs like Hypnotize, Mo Money, Mo Problems. That's fantastic. You had fucking country come back into the mainstream again since how long ago? You had an artist by the name of Shania Twain come back into the mix. I was like, she proved how good she can be and how people, even rap fans, like country.
Oh, congratulations. But sorry, you're going to point out the good ones. I get that. That's fair enough. But sorry, let me go take you to school here. You have Bop and Barbie Girl.
I was going to say, you're looking at the shitty one-hit wonders. You're looking at the shitty one-hit wonders.
If you look up top music of 97, these are the first ones that people see. You see Backstreet Boy, you see Spice Girls, Boys to Men with Not Where They Were in 95. Michael Jackson had one of the best songs of one of my favorites, You Are Not Alone, in 95. Coolio released Gangster's Paradise. I'm sorry, you're competing with Big Papi, which I'm a Red Sox fan, which is about my favorite baseball player of all time, but I'm sorry. 95 at least had hit. Mariah Carey was big.
Mariah Carey was big in 97. She came out with what? Butterfly.
She started. That's my whole viewpoint. Like, she had better songs back then. I'm telling you right now, you say country hit the mainstream. How Do I Live by Leanne Rimes. That was just magical.
It was the magical song. If it wasn't magical, it wouldn't have made the top 40.
Wonderwall came out in my year. Thank you. Like, you keep saying these good
I'll
songs.
I'll say a song everybody learns first on guitar.
Do not call that generic. I will literally walk out.
I'll say you're gonna tell me. I'll say Champagne Supernova over Wonderwall any day.
That came out. Bop was played in my high school. We had to donate money to a charity so they could stop playing it over our overhead speakers because it's literally brainwashing. It's terrible. Barbie Girl's the same way. Backstreet Boys, they started getting big at this point, and
you're looking.
It's the whole reason that they didn't come back.
You're looking at the pop side. You keep looking at the top stuff. You're looking at the pop side. Look at some of the other stuff. I said Notorious B.I.G. Third Eye Blind came out with their stuff.
Puff Daddy. Will Smith. Thank you so much. Thanks for that contribution.
I was gonna say, did you rock out to it? Hell yeah, everybody rocked out. Okay, how about this? Okay, here's
how we do it.
Here's one for you. How about this one? Radiohead. Okay, Computer. All right, you're gonna tell me Creep. You're gonna tell. Everybody learns to play that one coming from the non-musician standpoint.
No, I'm just saying. Shaggy came out with Boombastic. I'm sorry, one of the most fun songs to sing in the car all the time.
I'll one up you on that one. No.
I'm just saying.
I'll say, well, Tupac wasn't around in 97 a little bit. I'll say, but you know what? I'll say to go off of that.
That's rude.
You know what?
That's really rude.
You know what? No Diggity. Blackstreet had one of the dopest songs of 97 right there.
Yeah, I listened to that while I paired it with Barbie Girl. You literally bring in a good choice. But listen, my main viewpoint on this, yes, 95 and 97 all have hits. Every year has hits. But you have so many red, painted, nasty songs that I can't stand.
You're looking at like 4 or 5 of them.
That's not my whole view. No, my viewpoint is 95 had great songs throughout the entire year. Yours literally has great songs. I'm not going to deny you. But if I say 97 in a year of the 90s, I completely disagree with you because there are so many bad songs that started so many bad trends that led through music throughout. And I'm sorry, I'm still waiting to see this country back in resurgence that you keep talking about because that's really funny because main country was big in the 90s leading up. That was anybody that listened to country was still fine with country.
It brought pop country back into the mix. I'll say with Shania Twain.
Thank you for that.
Yes, but Shania Twain, what happened? She produced some decent enough of hits. I'll say, but also too, you're looking at I'll say the hits that you've listed off too, they're all from the same rock, alternative, and rap. I'm looking at pop and country.
What song did Shania Twain come out in 97? Because Any Man of Mine came out in 95, and that's
30 seconds left.
I was gonna say she came. I'll say, Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
Not as big.
So what the hell was there? Don't Impress Me Much. Still the one from this moment on. And then you had and then you also had another band by the name of Foo Fighters come out with The Color and the Shape, coming out with probably one of the best rock alternative songs of all time ever long. I'll say you keep bringing up.
You have so many good hits. I'm not denying you, but you can't put 97 in the whole thing when you have so many glaring bad points.
Time. All right. Well, my heartstrings were tugged at. The Canadian icon that is Shania Twain was brought up in great measures, and I do applaud you guys for bringing up such an icon of our nation. But we now go into the closing statements. Jeff, you were going to go first. You got 45 seconds. Fire away.
95 was obviously, yeah, it was a good year. But when you look at it on paper, it's a lot of the same genre. When you look at 97, it's a lot of variety. Yes, I know, Cody, you hate that word. It cuts you like a knife every time I say it. Variety, 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 variety. Hopefully it stumbles you up a little bit in your closing argument. But that's the fact. When you look at it on paper, when you look at 97 and you look at what was released, you look at a bunch of songs that stood the test of time, whether in terms of nostalgia or in terms of actual true merit. I'll say the musicality was there. It offered something for everybody. You had country fans looking at rap music. You had rap music fans looking at country music. You had a bunch of everything there that has worked. I'll say, was there some questionable songs? Yes, but every year has questionable songs. Every year has their questionable boy band pop bullshit, but 97 has so many good hits.
All right. Excellent closing. Cody, you got 45 seconds here. Fire away.
See, apparently you've never seen me debate before. Variety doesn't get me down, but I'm telling you right now, you literally pointed out no bad songs from 95. I've pointed out at least 10 for you. So that even alone can't hurt 95 over 97. 97 has some glaring mistakes that were made that traveled through and we're still getting today because of those songs, because they literally just appeal to the simple minds in the brain, like Barbie Girl and I can't even think anymore. But like Wonderwall and stuff like that. Those songs came out in 95. Gangster's Paradise. Michael Jackson had a hit. Mariah Carey was there. You didn't name one bad song from 95, which I think was very interesting. And you're saying that Shania Twain brought mainstream. Shania Twain was literally in 95 with Any Man of Mine that bursted the seed so she could make music in 97. I'm saying,
right.
You say Variety.
Sorry, I forgot to give you a 5 count, so 5.
Okay, you say Variety. I say yours is crap. 95 is the actually correct year.
All right, I'm so fucking torn. Matt, your vote didn't count last time, so we're gonna go first. Who gave the better argument?
You guys picked probably the 2 best years of the 90s. Also, Cody, I do have one bone to pick. This didn't play into my decision, but Hanson are awesome, and you need to listen to some of their other albums. They are a fantastic indie rock band. No, MMMBop is bad, but they are a great band. You see, Cody was really just picking away at specific songs and specific mistakes that happened in that year. And I feel like Jeff was supporting his year really harshly, but he wasn't doing the same back at Cody. And so it felt like he was playing from a defensive standpoint. And, you know, the best defense is good offense. So I'm giving the point to Cody.
All right. I am going to go next. And I'm actually giving my point to Jeff because, Cody, you roll your eyes one more time, and I'm going to kick you off the stream.
I just said, what a shocker. It's not a big deal. You're fine.
No, I'm actually giving my point to Jeff because it was a very, Cody attacked Jeff a lot in that round, and Jeff put up a very defensive fight. The reason why I'm giving the point to Jeff is just because the great songs that I heard from Cody were from one genre. You made an attempt in your closing arguments, and you almost won me over in your closing arguments, but you focused on pop in 95, whereas I heard more I heard more.
I hit R&B.
I heard you had one R&B. I heard a span of genres from Jeff. I heard more of the year of 97, whereas you were when you went pop 95. So I am giving my point to Jeff based on that argument. Jess, it all comes down to you. Who had the better argument? And the results will be as follows. If you feel like Cody has the better argument, he will be the winner and will be 0-1 in dance-off. If you feel Jeff has the better argument, we will be going into a tie-breaking speedrun question.
Oh, boy. Jeff was not doing as good of a job as Cody was with with trying to push back on his year. I think Cody was doing a whole lot more pushing on why 1997 shouldn't be considered the best year of the 90s in music. But that being said, even in bringing up some of the high points of 1995, it was so limited, and either I zoned out or you didn't even bring up Jagged Little Pill.
He didn't.
Or Melancholy and Infinite Sadness.
You guys, you get 5 minutes, okay? Be on this seat. Say it.
But that being said, and I think we're going to have to go to the tiebreaker because I'm voting for Jeff.
All right.
Oh,
So we go into the tie-breaking question. This is going to be a doozy. We're going to go standard late night format, but we're gonna go a little bit longer. We will go with a 30-second open and then a 20-second rebuttal. So whoever's response I hear first, they will go first. And I remind you guys once again: 30-second open, 20-second closing. Your tie-breaking question is as follows: what is the best song by Shania Twain?
Any Man of Mine.
From This Moment On.
All right. I heard Any Man of Mine from Cody first. 30 seconds. Time begins whenever you start talking.
Any Man of Mine's a very upbeat, kind of different for the time it came out in country. At this moment is a classic country song, a ballad. Sings about the moments. It's not really that catchy. You can't really remember the lyrics as much. Any Man of Mine has a fantastic guitar, drums throughout the entire thing, and it just shows how much sass Shania had back then, which made her on the map. You could literally have anybody else sing at this moment. Faith Hill could sing it. All the different ones could sing it. It's not that iconic. It doesn't have that stretch throughout. But Any Man of Mine is upbeat, fun. It shows how sassy Shania can actually be.
So I made a boo-boo. I gave you 45 seconds instead of 30. So what we'll do 45, 30.
Way too long. Okay.
A little bit. I was writing down notes and I wasn't keeping track of time. So we'll go 45, 30 just in terms of fairness. Jeff, you're going to get 45 seconds. Fire away.
Well, it would help if Cody got the right song in mind. It's From This Moment On. From This Moment On showed that Shania Twain can be more than just sass. She can be more than just a girl with an attitude. She can be somebody with a tender voice and that can balance off somebody well in a duet. And that's why this song really does stand out very well. It talks about the love between two people, and it shows so much emotion going forward from that. And to have that from somebody, and in the constant change of keys and the constant flow of the song, it just proved to be a ballad powerhouse for people. And it's just so tender and loving. Very phenomenal song.
Time. All right. 30-second rebuttal. Cody. Time starts whenever you're talking.
From this moment, she has to literally share it with somebody, and it shows her that she can do that. But guess what? That happens all throughout all country music. They always do a duet. They always sing about the love with each other. This is literally like, if you're going to be with me, you're going to have to treat me right, and you're going to have to play by my rules. Shania Twain literally taught every country singer how to show that they don't need a man, and if they need a man, they need to follow the exact rules. From This Moment could literally be sung by Faith Hill, Reba McEntire, any of the actual country songs. It was probably written for one of them, and they probably passed on it. The whole thing is she has to compliment off somebody else, but the main thing is Any Man of Mine is just hers. She has to deliver everything about it. She has to have the sass in throughout the entire song.
Time. All right. So now we're going to Jeff. Time begins whenever you start talking.
Any Man of Mine just falls into just another Shania Twain song that shows that I'm a sassy woman. Men have to listen to what I say. It's pretty much the exact same song we've come to expect from Shania Twain. When you have a song from this moment on, it shows versatility. It shows that she can have a tender side. There's more to her than just sass, and that's what's important as an artist. If you keep putting yourself and pigeonholing yourself into one specific look or one specific idea, then you can't grow as an artist. And from this moment on, showed that she can be soft and tender, and she can be balancing off well off of a male vocalist. And it just, the message behind the song too is just, it's not just for women, it's for women and men, and that's what matters most in the end.
One time. This is close. Man, this is close. I am going to go to Jeff's first because your vote was the deciding one, so there will not be as much pressure on you. But yeah, who gave the better argument?
Yeah, no pressure. Choosing two different songs that basically kind of made junior high for me, but sure, no pressure at all. But I do kind of, on this one, have to agree on From This Moment On. Like, from the album The Woman in Me, I don't remember a single darn ballad off of that song. But From This Moment On ended up becoming so iconic back in the day that, like, every third family wedding that you went to, somebody was standing up in front of the church doing a duet of From This Moment On in the middle of the wedding. It kind of stood the test of the moment quite a bit longer than Any Man of Mine, which I think I stopped listening to about 6 months after it came out.
All right, so she gives her point to Jeff. Matthew, I'm going to go to you next. Who gave the better argument?
I don't know, man. To me, this, you guys are all telling me this was close, but I don't know if you guys were like listening to a different argument or something, but I think Cody ran away with it. I think he literally shut down every point that Jeff had about his song. And I kind of was in an interesting place, having, very little interest or care for Shania Twain. But the argument was definitely in Cody's favor.
Oh, man. It's so close because you guys brought up really good points. From Cody, he was saying like Any Man of Mine is empowering. It's kind of off of the beaten path because from this moment, like everybody does the ballads and the duets, and he mentioned how like Faith Hill, Dolly Parton, like any one of these people could do the. As Jeff went into the argument of it, showed From This Moment On showed Shania's versatility, and that it spoke to both men and women. It was a song of love. All right, guys, your winner of Dance Off is Cody Newberry. I'm giving it to Cody.
Ooh.
It's that vocalist thing, and I didn't hear enough about why Shania had to be in From This Moment On. It hurts me because From This Moment On is my favorite Shania Twain song of all time, and I can't remember the last time I've heard it. I can't remember the last time I've listened to Any Man of Mine, but based on the arguments provided, Cody gave the better one. It's super close. I know that Cody is 0-1. Cody is 1-0, and Jeff is 0-1. But Jeff, it's super close.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's by the thinnest of margins. But I have to go to Cody first. Cody, you proved yourself a debate champion for a reason, and you won a music debate over a musician. How do you feel?
It's always hard. It's kind of like when me and Matthew had to square off on an exhibition match. Like you don't want to fight that person, but you have to like fight it tooth and nail. And when he said From This Moment, I said shit. I picked the wrong one. But I was stuck in 95, and he was stuck in 97, as you clearly see, because both of those choices came up. I think it was a fun match. I had a lot of fun with it. Again, debate is kind of my strength. I like to hear myself talk, so that always helps. The problem with 95 is I went what I tell everybody not to do, and I went over defensive instead of and didn't hit my points enough. So that's like going back to the drawing board. The main thing is I shouldn't be here, Music is not my strength, so I have to do so much research ahead of time than some of you guys do. That's what's like, I literally on my notes, I literally have a little jagged pill like on my notes, and it just skimmed right over. Like there are moments, but I do so much research to try to have enough in it to bring a good show. So like I shouldn't be here, and I'll probably get destroyed my next match, especially like against Rosa or anybody like that. But I had fun. I think Brooklyn puts on a great stuff here, so I'm happy to support him, even though he normally despises me and I despise him. So,
fuck you, Sue. We'll go to Cody, or sorry, we'll go to Jeff next. Jeff, you had a really good performance, and it's literally like if this was a race, you lost by 100th of a second. How do you
won
feel?
A race? Wow.
Yeah.
I never won races.
That's great. But yeah, I mean, going up against Cody, I mean, like, I kind of knew going in that he is really good at debating, so it was kind of like being fed to a lion in a way. So I was trying like to play the nice guy card at first, and he was having none of that. So I knew I had to up my game pretty quick going out. But no, I had a lot of fun here. I mean, I never really debated before. I always feel like music and movies and stuff like that is always subjective. It's hard to argue why one is better than the other, but you know, I feel like at the end of the day, it's just music's enjoyed by everybody. I mean, like there's a lot to be loved by everybody, and you know, it's a lot of fun just coming on here. I mean, Cody was a lot of fun to play with. I respect the man very, very much, and look forward to coming back in the ring again.
Yeah. To the judges today, Jess, how do you feel? How do you feel about the competitors today? And I mean, that hacker really changed things up there with that question.
No one likes you, Brooklyn.
It wasn't me. Why do you always think it's me? I literally.
You were bringing up Shaggy earlier. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. There's a Shaggy song for you.
All right, Jess. How did you feel about the match today?
But first of all, Brooklyn, seriously, I don't know what you did to piss off the Chinese that they're starting to hack all our stuff, but whatever you did, you need to apologize. And then Cody also needs to apologize for me for saying that the Backstreet Boys suck noodle.
They do.
BSB all day.
All right, Matt
but that
Rosa.
was really fun.
Yeah. Matt Rosa, as somebody who won the last dance off against the Cobblepot commander himself, Chris Clark, how do you feel about both performances and potentially going up against Cody in a later match in maybe November?
I wouldn't say that was quite the war that me and Chris Clark had, but it was definitely a great match, and I think both of these guys have a place in the Dance Off League. I think the questions are definitely gonna come together, and that's going to be a big thing with me and Cody play each other. It's going to be, what are those questions? Because if a couple fall into my wheelhouse and a couple fall into his wheelhouse, it's going to be an uphill battle for one of us, and that's kind of the interesting thing about this league.
All right. Well, there you guys have it. Dance Off number 3. This is going to be, like we mentioned previously, this is going to be a league. In November, they're actually going to be all dance-offs. So we're gonna have a focus on that because at the Snowball event held at World and Movie Games, there's going to be not one but 2 matches held in December. We're actually going to be crowning our inaugural dance-off champion in that special video package, and another match that is going to be announced later on. But I do want to thank our panelists, our judges, and our contestants today. But to our winner and the Late Night with Take 3 mini speedrun debate champion of the World Night Movie Games Association of America, Cody Newberry. Where can the cool kids of the world find you?
One, Brooklyn, am I defending that title this Thursday?
You are defending this. You're defending that title this Thursday against me.
Okay. Oh, sweet. And you can find me on Facebook at Cody Newberry. You can find me at Full Metal. And now you can mainly find me at this exact channel, Take 3. So not tomorrow, but Wednesday, me, Robert, and Sandy Robinson, we are watching Infinity War, and we're doing a watch-along. So jump in the chat, talk about the movie. We will be going through the chat pretty much all night to talk about when people cry, when people get angry, when people would take the gauntlet and destroy somebody like Brooklyn. But other than that, yeah, come watch it with us. And I will be on Thursday at Brooklyn's fantastic podcast that he runs over here. And I will be defending my belt, hopefully retaining it. But who knows?
Right. To the unfortunate loser today, but good sport nonetheless, Jeff Varju, where can the Jukebox Heroes of the World find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Jeff Varju. So you can also see me on YouTube. I do animation video style work. I'll say if you guys are ever interested in any of that kind of work, hit me up. I also work over with Worldwide Movie Games Network. I'm one of the main editors over there. I work with Worldwide Movie Trivia. So I'm kind of around everywhere. And I'm also starting up my own little thing, a little podcast type channel. Hopefully we'll drop that in the next month. It's going to be called Machinate Media. Definitely be on the lookout for that. I will be posting links hopefully very soon, and it's going to be a good time.
The guy edited one of the greatest music videos ever, a very great parody of Piano Man. So I do owe him 1,000 thank yous for making that video.
The secret is out. I was staying quiet for that.
No, nobody's watching.
Chris Clark is coming for you.
Jess Morgan, where can the cool kids of the world find you?
All right, you can find me all over Facebook and Twitter. I do have an Instagram with absolutely no photos on it, so don't go looking. You're lucky you get me on camera for this shit. But speaking of on-camera work, you can also find me over on Multiplex Entertainment, where I run movie Warzone every Monday afternoon. It's our own little movie trivia league over there, and actually coming soon, we'll have the winner of today's match, Cody Newberry, in a match here in probably about a couple of weeks or so.
All right. Well, based on Cody's reaction, that seems like an absolute barn burner. And last but definitely not least, the number one contender for the Jukebox Trivia Championship, Matthew Rosa, where can the Jukebox Heroes of the World find you?
You can find me here on Jukebox Trivia as your head writer. You can find me on Twitter at OTOIT Music. You can find me on most other social media platforms on the tip of your tongue. And you can find my Reverb Nation Heat Seeker chart hit, Better Half, on Spotify. We are reaching 10,000 plays. So what the heck is happening there? But people just keep adding it to their playlist, and it keeps getting more plays, and hopefully that'll keep happening. But yeah, I'm around literally everywhere. And yeah, you'll see me play Luca and probably lose miserably, but we'll see what happens.
All right, and last but definitely not least, I'm the Black Lantern Brooklyn Vale. You can find me right here on Take 3 Productions, running not one but two shows. This one here, Jukebox Trivia, we do debate, trivia, and playlists. Be sure to check us out next week, where it is going to be Dan Skip balloting on the newcomer Rob Clark, a guy that I picked up from Sight and Sound. And I believe that week as well, that week is my birthday. So on Wednesday, September the 19th, we are going to be covering one of the greatest artists of all time, playlist edition of the Foo Fighters. So it'll be myself, Jim Green, Evan DeGraff, and Alex Warden going through that one. And then, like Cody mentioned, on Thursday, I run a show here called Late Night with Take 3. A very interesting show that covers the various pop culture topics, movie, TV, all that fun stuff. And then you can find me on Twitter at TheRealBK10 and on Instagram at RepeatBeat.10. And you can find me anywhere there's good trivia. I have recently taken a step back as a manager, but I do love to shit talk, especially that musician-hating, musical talent-hating Cody Newberry. But once again, guys, thanks for joining us. Like, comment, subscribe on Take 3 Productions. If you think that you could beat Cody in a debate, be sure to check out the Jukebox Trivia Facebook page. We will get you into a match whenever we can. And yeah, be sure to check out the Schmodown Patreon page. For anybody who is in this community, you are most likely a fan of the Schmodown, and they really need our help. They want to put on a fantabulous product, and we are fans of that. So be sure to check out www.schmodown or patreon.com/Schmodown. Anything, like even a dollar means the world to them. So if just whatever you can, or even just share the link for sure. So once again, guys, that is Cody, that is Jeff, that is Mr. Rosa, Matthew Rosa, that is Jessica Morgan. I am the Black Lantern Brooklyn Vale. Cheers, guys, and as always, drive